Hello, I'm Martin Park. You can call me Coach. For those that don't know me, I'm a naturopath and a master coach and trainer who's been working professionally in the health, fitness, wellness and self-improvement industries for over 45 years. If you are someone who is interested in learning how to maximize your overall health, well-being and performance, then welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about, are your beliefs making you sick or healthy? Have you ever considered how your beliefs might be impacting your health and well-being? It is a question worth pondering, as the personal beliefs and philosophies we hold, influenced by our individual experiences, values, and aspirations, from religious to cultural and societal perspectives, guide our choices and behaviors in life, ultimately shaping our attitudes and potential health outcomes. Put simply, our beliefs can significantly impact our health outcomes by shaping our behaviors in ways that either support or undermine our health and overall well-being. Now, I could discuss this topic from many different perspectives, such as examining the influence of psychological factors on physical health, or exploring the relationship between stress and illness, or delving into the placebo effect and its implications for medical treatment. However, I'm going to solely focus on discussing how our beliefs, influenced by both external sources and our own experiences, define our perceptions of reality, and how they directly influence our habits and lifestyle choices, and how they impact our behaviors and health outcomes, even when they are not based on objective truths. And this can and will happen throughout your life via one of two sources. One, you are directly influenced by an external source, or two, you form the belief on your own based on your own research. Let's first look at source one, being influenced by an external source. When I was in my early 20s, shortly after my mother tragically died in a car accident on my 21st birthday, I began experiencing a wide range of unpleasant symptoms. After undergoing numerous medical tests and consultations, I received a diagnosis of hypoglycemia, a condition characterized by fluctuating and low blood sugar levels. This diagnosis was prevalent in the late 1970s, as it was advocated by many celebrity doctors and writers, similar to the trends seen in subsequent years with chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, leaky gut irritable bowel syndrome, and ADHD, conditions characterized by vague symptoms that defy clear classification. So I lived with this doctor-diagnosed belief for over a year, and all with no improvement in symptoms, only some vague form of temporary relief, as I was always having to eat to try and prevent myself from having an attack of low blood sugar. Some time later, I purchased a personal glucose testing kit that had recently become available on the market. I began monitoring my glucose levels, especially during episodes of symptoms. The longer I tested, the more I came to realize that when my symptoms were extremely acute, my blood sugar levels were normal. As a matter of fact, my blood sugar was consistently level whenever I tested it. I even thought my kit may be faulty, so I bought two others, and for a period of time, I was testing across 3 kits, with all 3 showing the same results. Armed with this new information, I went looking for another cause. It turned out that I was suffering from generalized anxiety disorder and panic attacks as a result of my weakened nervous system due to the shock of my mother's death, something that had nothing to do with hypoglycemia. I didn't have a physical problem per se, rather I had a mental and emotional one that manifested in a range of mental, emotional, and physical symptoms. Once I started treating this problem with the right protocols, I immediately and continuously began to improve until it was completely under control. And I say under control because, as anyone who has suffered from this type of condition, along with other similar conditions, knows that it never truly goes away, we simply learn to manage it effectively. So that was my very early entry into the realization of how our beliefs can have a profound effect on our health and well-being. If I hadn't have challenged the status quo in regard to what I was living through, my life would have turned out very different. I would have continued to live as a sick person, believing that I was suffering with something that I simply did not have. But I didn't, and here I am 45 years later, a master coach and health practitioner. Every day I meet people who tell me stories of their lives and what they are suffering with. People who are convinced that they have ADHD when in fact they are experiencing symptoms related to stress, depression or anxiety, and they are following unnecessary treatments that could potentially exacerbate their underlying issues. People who have accepted their diabetes diagnosis and are taking medications when in fact they could manage or even eliminate the condition altogether through making effective lifestyle changes. People who are trapped in a cycle of taking heavy painkillers to alleviate chronic pain as this is their only option, when in fact addressing the root cause through physical therapy and lifestyle adjustments would offer them long-term relief. People who believe it is their genetics or their hormones or some other external or complicated factor that is keeping them overweight or obese, when in fact it is simply their dietary and lifestyle habits that need to change. And all these people have chosen, as I did when I was young, to believe in something that they have been told by a practitioner or so-called expert in an attempt to make sense of what they are struggling with and hopefully find relief or a cure for their ailments. And that is understandable, as what other options have we got? Well, I will get to that later. Let's now look at source 2 of how we become trapped or tricked by our beliefs. Source 2, you form the belief on your own based on your own research. We are all limited, as our understanding of any subject is always going to be limited by our knowledge and experience. That is a fact. But that fact doesn't stop us from having an opinion on just about everything. As humans, we naturally like to make sense of things. So even when we only have a limited amount of knowledge on a subject, or worse, we don't know anything on the subject at all, we will still form an opinion because our brains are wired to fill in gaps and come to conclusions based on the information available to us, whether it's accurate or not. Plus, the information of our opinions, once again, whether accurate or not, will also be influenced by our personal experiences, what we've been taught and learned, and most importantly, in today's digital world, what others around us believe. In our digital age, social media platforms have become powerful vehicles for shaping health beliefs and behaviors, allowing individuals to access information, connect with peers, and share personal experiences. While this can be useful as it can provide valuable support networks and facilitate health promotion efforts, it can also contribute to the spread of rumors, misinformation, harmful trends, and outright lies. Additionally, the algorithmic nature of social media platforms will also create an echo chamber of information, serving you more and more of the same thing, and in doing so, reinforcing your existing beliefs and limiting your exposure to diverse perspectives and alternative information. And when we apply all that to the life of an averagely educated human, a human that has no specific training or knowledge in anything related to health and well-being, yet a human that has formed opinions and beliefs on just about everything to do with their health and well-being, thanks to the internet, their friends and family, and the old lady that lives in the apartment block down the road, it is a recipe for disaster. Every day I talk to people, accountants, hairdressers, mechanics, IT specialists, university students, etc., who take great delight in telling me their beliefs and opinions in regards to health and well-being and what they are suffering from and what they are doing about it and how it just won't go away and what do I think. But the moment I attempt to give them some simple advice that they may be able to use, simple advice extracted from an extremely complex issue that even I, with extensive experience and knowledge, have difficulties in coming up with, they will invariably begin to shake their head in disagreement to my advice, as in their opinion, their belief, what I'm saying is wrong. And these are people who know who I am and what my skill set is. They just can't help themselves as they are so deeply entrenched in their own beliefs, they're like a broken record stuck on repeat. No, that won't work. 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 Sadly, that something they are choosing to believe in, that thing that isn't actually true at all, is going to make them or keep them sick and unwell and never get any better. And this type of mistaken belief logic is not reserved only for the layperson. There are many health professionals online and on social media that perpetuate similar misconceptions, often promoting quick fixes, miracle cures, and one-size-fits-all approaches to complex issues without any solid scientific evidence. Some of them are outright corrupt snake oil salesmen, while others are simply deluded and influenced by their own experiences. Empowered by personal transformations, they may fervently advocate for extreme dietary practices and are now born-again vegans or carnivores or champion specific ideologies to the exclusion of others. These individuals, whether driven by financial gain or genuine belief, unfortunately perpetuate the same misinformation that can harm those seeking genuine health advice. So how do we fix all this? How do we not fall prey to this type of absolute or misinformed belief behavior, whether created by ourselves or influenced by others? How do we learn to discern the truth from the half-truths and the outright falsities? How do we know who to listen to and when and why? And most importantly, what can we do to protect ourselves so that we become immune and impervious to all of this? Essentially, how do we become a health Jedi? It's quite simple, really. You just have to religiously follow these 3 recommendations. 1. Cultivate a mindset of healthy skepticism combined with critical thinking. Always question the information presented to you, whether it comes from an external source via an expert, a practitioner, an influencer, or it arises from your own thoughts and experiences. Don't simply accept something as truth because you've been told to, or it's widely believed, or because it aligns with your preconceived notions. Question it, challenge it, then challenge it again. 2. Always seek a second and even better, a third opinion. Plus, and very important, seek the second or third opinion from diverse perspectives and information sources. If the first diagnosis and recommended treatment came from a medical doctor or specialist who focuses on pharmaceutical interventions, surgical procedures, and other medical interventions, then seek the second opinion from a holistic practitioner or alternative medicine specialist who considers lifestyle factors, nutrition, and physical and integrative complementary therapies. This is not negotiable. If you lean towards one over the other, then start with that. But then you absolutely must seek out the alternative and sometimes opposing perspective. Be open-minded but cautious, and be willing to adapt your beliefs and practices based on all the recommendations and evidence. 3. Take responsibility for your own health. Advocate for yourself and educate yourself by asking questions and actively participating in your healthcare decisions. Seek out healthcare providers who listen to your concerns and respect your autonomy. Recognize the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit, and prioritize lifestyle factors such as nutrition, exercise, stress management, and social support, as health is more than just the absence of disease. It is about thriving in all aspects of life. By following these 3 recommendations, you can transcend the limitations of false beliefs and misinformation, emerging as a true health Jedi capable of navigating the complexities of wellness with clarity, integrity, and resilience. Remember, the path to health mastery is not a destination, but a lifelong quest guided by an unwavering commitment to truth. May the force of wisdom and well-being be with you on your journey. I thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate your company. If you found value in today's episode, then please hit the subscribe, like, or follow buttons to help me with growing my channel. I look forward to spending some time with you again. Bye for now.